give you tips on how to raise kids, responsible kids today on Kababayan LA. Gale is joining us. Gale said 3 things that parents need to give their kids: consistency and structure, accountability and responsibility and
limits and consequences.
Limits and consequences. And we're learning about that because parents whose kids are in the limelight, in show business, you know, they struggle with this. Earlier, we were talking about setting boundaries and teaching them about financial responsibility. And you said you had a different way with Josie. What is it?
Because she works so hard for the money. I know it's really, you know, like when you were there in the camera and everything. So I try to let her appreciate what she got. So when she got all her checks, like residuals, I put it in the side first. And when I got like time to deposit, I showed it to her and she signs all her checks and we go to the bank. And she will ask me, "Mom, is this all my money?" And I said, think about the taxes. You have to pay taxes, and some of this money is going to your cooking account for your college. And she knows that.
Right, right. And she also knows that she's special because you mentioned earlier, even the siblings, you know, do you think you're a superstar? Is it true what your mom is saying? Is it true what your siblings sometimes accuse you of?
It's like after I do a commercial, like the last commercial I did it with someone from Nickelodeon, and that was like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so cool, but like, that's like, they took it to a higher level and they thought I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a superstar, but yeah, not really.
What about household chores? Are you?
Oh no, it doesn't change. She has her own. She has to clean her room, do the dishes, so they're all the same. They're equal.
Gale, what about consistency in terms of parents always being there? I know I've interviewed some actors here on the show, that the parents always, the mom or the dad would always drive them around, always constantly be with them during shoots and all that, even out of on location, out of town, out of the country. Is that good or bad?
Well, I mean, again, you know, I don't know if we could really say that either way, if it's really all good or all bad. I think it really depends on the people that you would trust. I think it's the same thing in anything that, you know, right now, if we have our kids and I'm here, let's say, my kids are out there, who are with them? So I you know, let's say they're in a school. Do we know the teachers? Can we trust the teachers?
It's the same thing,
It's the same thing.
Yes,
but you make those decisions based on that.
Do you worry? What are your fears?
Oh, every time that she had like got hired and booked a job, it's always me and my husband. I never have anybody go with her, except just my husband. Sometimes he goes when it's far, like when we have to stay for a couple of days, I go with her.
Why? What do you fear?
I think I can see more, or I can, like, you know, because sometimes like there's some producers or like they want you to do this way or that way for that, and I said I don't think so. That's right. So
you would say,
yeah, and then if they have to go to the bathroom, I want to do it. I want to take them to the bathroom. Yes.
Okay. Does that embarrass you?
No.
Does everybody else's parents are there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good. Do you like that? Do you appreciate that? Do you know how like your mom needs to take off from work just to be with you?
Yeah. Because it shows that she is like proud and she's there for me, and she's like behind me, that I want to pursue that.
Do you fear anything? Well, of course, when you're a kid, right? You think you're invincible. Nothing bad can happen to you. But do you have fears?
Not like when I'm on set and stuff, but like fears, like phobias of spiders and stuff. But like besides that, it's not.
So when you're on set, you're having fun.
Yeah.
You started when you were 4. You're 13 now. You've been doing this for years, so you're probably used to it. Are there still things that shock you?
Sometimes like the ways they like get everything started and the way they do things is different. Like the way they do like sets and stuff, or the way they get everyone together, or like the way they just do things on set. It's always different.
It's always different. So just the set structure. What about people that you work with? They're all kids too, and not everyone has maybe strict parents. Not all kids are disciplined. Have you encountered kids that are difficult to, you know, kids your age that are difficult? What, catty? Are they catty?
They're like feisty. So like if you ask them a question, they're like, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, if, like, this one girl, she did a movie, and she just kept talking about it, and we're like, we don't care what you have done. Like, yeah.
And that's another thing too. And it's not just in show business. In high school, Mean Girls, bullying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think, again, that's where the parents' influence comes in. I think that, the parents need to be able to provide some kind of safety for the child. And that's why I think that's great that it's as simple as taking them to the bathroom. I think that's very important because that's all we fear about.
And I have a 4-year-old niece, and we always, so her parents sometimes take her to the park, and, in the park there are other kids. She's not a star, but, in a way it's like that. She's playing, somebody pushes her, whether intentional or unintentional. Is it proper for the mom to talk to the mom of the child that pushed?
Well, I think it depends again. I think it depends on the age of the child. I think that you would be able to teach your child self-sufficiency and self-reliance.
To defend themselves. Yes.
At the same time, I think that if the child is only 4 years old,
right.
I think that the parent would have to step in and just kind of provide that safety again.
So age appropriate. And
right.
So is it age appropriate for kids to be joining pageants, being judged according to how they look on reality shows? We're going to be talking about that, plus tips for parents when we return. Don't go away.
Ipinakikilala ang sophisticadong lasa ng bagong McDonald's McCafe French Vanilla Latte. For a limited time, pasarapin ang inyong coffee experience with a small McCafe latte or mocha na ginawa galing sa 100% Arabica beans for just $1.